All right. Party people in the place to be, vandals, and all you wandering space mercenaries out there. This is a brand new episode of How'd We Get Here? And today we're talking to a very cool, very up and coming cartoonist. Man, this is going to be a fun one. Joe, you're half the intro, bro.
Yeah. Just give me a sec. My mouse is still fucking up. All right. So this episode of How We Get Here is brought to you in collaboration with Power Pulp Comics. Go to Power Pulp Comics to find all kinds of cool comics by self-published creators. They also have a wholesale deal for comic shops. You get 50% off, and all orders of $200 or more get free shipping. So if you're a shop, you can reach out to them. They have a form you fill out for wholesale. If you're a comic shop, you can go pick up all the books from all the publishers, self-published creators that are on Power Pulp. So go to powerpulpcomics.com to check that out. They also have a Discord. You go check out the Discord. You got a bunch of folks on there, the creators, all kinds of people you can chat with. So that's pretty cool as well. We have our giveaway for Vendetta. Holy Vindicator. Tomorrow we're spinning the wheels. So tonight will be your last chance to enter to win Vendetta. Vendetta. Yeah. It's a trade. It's 5 issues by Steve McArdle. So go to the episode for that we did of Vendetta with Steve McArdle and write Vendetta down in the YouTube episode comments to enter. And we'll be spinning the wheel of Vindication tomorrow. What else do we have? Our friend Richard Morgan. His Kickstarter's over, but he's open for late pledges. So you can go and still back Blam and Glam through the late pledge function on Kickstarter. And our buddy Rot Steak new book, Everything is Super. Book 2 is out. You can go to Papercut Cove and order that there. They're readily available now. It's been 2 weeks about, I think this book came out.
Yeah. And we got a sweet quote on the back of the book. So that's a really awesome thing for us, you know what I mean? To be
we got a pull quote. Yeah. So that's awesome. On a cool book. We've also got another giveaway for Slaughter Swine. And that's through Bloody Gore Comics. So that was last episode on Thursday. Go to the episode, write Bloody Gore Comics in the episode comments down below to enter. And you could win a copy of Slaughter Swan. It's all 4 issues of this series. It's a trade paperback for that collected edition in English. It's the English translation, brought to you by Bloody Gore Comics.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's it for taking care of business. That's pretty much
it.
That
all looked awesome.
Business has been taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, you can enter too, Nick, if you want. Just go. You can go. Remember, Vendetta, write it below. And actually, he's got Steve is going to be throwing in some extra swag with the book when he sends it. So you'll probably get stickers and some other cool shit with it. And this one, well, like we said, Bloody Gore Comics. The other one is Vendetta. You can find the episodes on YouTube and just write it down below those specific episodes in the comments. And for a chance to win. And like we said, tomorrow's Vendetta. We're spinning it tomorrow. So tonight's your last chance. So go. If you want it, tonight's your last chance and go write Vendetta down in the comments.
I actually manage a comic book store, and I got to go look up that Power Pulp stuff. That looked really awesome.
There's some cool
look into that.
Yeah, great stuff on there.
I recognize a bunch of those ones from just Instagram and stuff like that. I was like, oh man, I got to bring some of them to the store.
Yeah, they have the wholesale. So you just go and they have like a form. You write the store name and everything, and then you get your wholesale, and then I don't know if the $200 applies to international shipping.
That's what I was wondering.
US
come to Canada.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just US, but still, I mean,
they got some big names on there too. They got Jim Rugg, Aubrey Sitterson, Shelley and Philip Bond are on there. Like, so there's some pretty popping names on Power.
Yeah.
But speaking of names, man, why don't you introduce yourself, bro?
My name is Nick Klie. I make comic books. I make my own comic called Life The Necropolis. It's a comic book about a sci-fi wandering mercenary who goes through goes through space, meeting interesting people, and usually shoots them. Yeah, it's really heavily inspired by like heavy metal, metal Erlant, old 70s and 80s sci-fi, like Euro sci-fi. A lot of big Judge Dredd influence in there. Yeah, and I'm working on my new Kickstarter for my fourth book right now. It's going to launch. My Kickstarter is going to launch tomorrow, and yeah, that's I make comics. Hey, right there, look at that link.
Yes, sir. Hop
Yeah,
on, be notified. It'll be tomorrow. You'll get an email saying, "Yo, back this book," and I, I can't recommend it highly enough. Like you said, it's very it reminds me a lot more of Road Trooper than I'd say
Yeah.
Dread, but and also in the earlier works that you have available on Webtoons, there's a very heavy Mobius influence. I see. There's a couple characters with the Arzak hat,
Yeah.
showing up a few times, which I really appreciate. I really enjoy because I'm a big Arzak fan.
You nailed like everything there. So in the early days, he had more Judge Dredd kind of gear, like he had elbow pads and knee pads and stuff like that. And this last story I just did, called Six Doom Wrecked Knights, which is my next Kickstarter, I decided to give him a helmet, and that is way more like Rogue Trooper, like way more now like Rogue Trooper. But it's meant to be like a big love letter to all my favorite things. And early on, I was trying really hard to rip off Mobius, and I admit it, like that's what it's for, right? That's what I wanted to do. And then as I've gotten as it's gone on, and it's for the last couple of years, I keep taking more and more from Carlos Esquerra. Like it was never really intentional. Like I really wanted to try to do that Mobius hatching style and that Mobius, like that line style. But the further it got, the more it just kept going towards Carlos, kind of unintentionally, but at the same time intentionally. Even the name, like Life the Necropolis, the Necropolis is taken from the Judge Dredd story, The Necropolis. That's where it was originally from.
Okay.
And yeah, so like it's more and more Carlos now. But early on, I was trying my hardest to figure out how to do Mobius, and that's hey, how do you copy this genius? How do you do more like this genius? Not easy, not easy at all, man. So, but early on, like the Arzak hats, those would pop up because like I'd have a stack of Mobius books beside me, and I'd be taking from those. And now, lately, the stack of books is more Carlos Esquerra, Judge Dredd, and a lot of Philip Drouillet stuff, a lot of Lone Sloan. So I've been taking a lot from those lately.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Speaking of the earlier stuff, I'm just wondering, do you have any plans of maybe putting out like a Life omnibus at some point? Because like it's all really good, man. And
Thank you.
I kind of feel bad for people that like only get the later issues because there's some deep stuff that really helps you understand the universe maybe a little better in the earlier ones, and that would be cool to like have that available for readers.
That's oh, sorry, go ahead.
Like especially people like me that prefer physical over reading online.
Well, like originally, the way I explained it to people is that like I stopped drawing anything for like 15 years, and then I started making a web comic with my buddy, but I was only doing the writing, and then I started wanting to draw, and so instead of like just practicing, I started putting them out as I practiced. You know what I mean? So like my comics were my practice, and I never intended for that stuff to really see print beyond my website. And then the first one I did, Shrub, that was the first one that I did that this is going to be a comic. I'm going to print this. And then that happened in the pandemic, so everything went to shit. And then between Shrub and my second comic, there's a couple of one-off stories in there that didn't see print, but just because everything had to just wait. But I'm thinking now that I might actually do because this fourth comic is probably going to be the last printed Life the Necropolis comic I do. I'm going on to something different, and Life will be a part of that, but it'll stop being Life the Necropolis as a title. Maybe I'll tell more about that yet. I'm not really ready to announce all that yet. But I thought about that, kind of capping everything, like taking all the web comics, everything, put it into one graphic novel. Because I don't really want to do a graphic novel for 4 issues. But I thought, what if I had everything in there? So it is in the plans. It's kind of in the back burner. I'd like to sell all my inventory of the single issues before I started doing a graphic novel. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely in the plan.
Right on. Also, I also love just seeing the evolution of an artist, and it's not like there was ever anything that was sketchy in life, but definitely your coloring style evolved greatly, especially in between Shrub and the Red Wizard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I really, really enjoy like the modern coloring. I like the dynamic coloring and having everybody, but like when you just started doing the I'm not even sure how you call your modern coloring style, but like I just really like it. The kind of
Yeah.
duochromatic panels and stuff like that. It's just such a great look. It just pops so well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I'll explain a little bit about that process. When I first having an eye for color is like having an ear for music, and I don't have an eye for color. And so when I was doing those original strips, I was trying to do them to traditional, like every little thing gets colored properly. And I was trying really hard to rip off Mobius colors, and I couldn't for the life of me figure it out. And a lot of people would tell me like, yeah, I like your colors. And the truth is I hated them. I absolutely hated them. It was just wasn't what I wanted to have it look like. And then I went through this phase. If you read the webcomic, you'll see there's this phase where all of a sudden the coloring stops. Every page was one single color. And I said, I'm going to start from square one. I'm going to start one color, then two colors, then three colors until I figure out what it is I want to do. And as I was doing that, where there was like, and those are all the webcomics, not really in the comic. That a lot of that was during the period between Shrub and the Red Wizard. And as I was doing that, I was trying to like develop this style where I was like, man, like I think I'm onto something here. Like this is a good idea, kind of patting myself on the back where everything's kind of this one flat color. And then it occurred to me, let's see if we can find the book here. All I was doing was ripping off literally the Necropolis, because this is a big acid trip comic. And what they ended up doing was they started doing a lot of that monochromatic stuff. So in my head, I was coming up with this idea that Carlos Esquerra had already thought of 30 years ago, where I stole my name from. And I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing. Because I just love his work. And so that's where I started. And that's why, if you follow my 4 comics, when you go see the Red Wizard, where I do all the flat colors, just like one character is one color, there's not a lot of extreme highlights. And then when I go to Pranger, which is the 3rd book, I put a lot more extreme colors in there. I just was like, yeah, like I'm missing something. So then there was that next step. And then in the 6 Doom-wrecked Knights, I'm trying to mix all of it, where I have some characters that are just like the whole character is blue, and then sometimes to make the character stand out, he has his flesh tones, his hair color, I do a little bit of everything as a way to try to blend it all together. If I could pick, I would probably do it all like Pranger, because it was faster and it was easier to come up with the colors. But I realized when I did I have the book right here. When I did the cover for this, there's no point in the book where those characters have their color. They just change like this all the time. And I realized, okay, like I better show that on the cover, because the Red Wizard had them like life was all green, and then this character Maine, she was all blue, I think. And I thought, I never tell the audience what the colors actually are. And so when I did 6 Doom-wrecked Knights, I wanted to do that more often. I wanted to have maybe a panel, a page where they had their full colors.
Well, it's kind of fun. Like I always just assumed that Maine was blonde, and right?
Yeah,
she's supposed to be blonde, right?
No, I have no idea. I never decided. So that's I like that idea. Like you've decided in your head what she looks like, but she changes from panel to panel to panel. But I have no idea. I never decided. So if I had to do it, I would have to sit down and figure it out. And how I would have colored it 2 years ago when I was doing the comic might have changed, or like 3 years ago, might change if I do it, like say 2 years from now. I have no idea.
Yeah.
She was kind of based on just like punk girls. That was it. And to that degree, the hair color changes all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
The way I found your comic was originally it was through the archives. You had your webpage.
Okay.
And I met you through Manu used to do life drawing on, was it Tuesday nights? His life drawing sessions, and you'd be in the chats, and Manu was like, "Oh, you should go check out his comic. He has it all."
Cool, okay.
And I was like, he's like, he's been working on it for almost like 10 years and stuff like that. So I went and
Yeah.
checked it out. So I was able to, like, I saw some of the early stuff, and then
Nice.
so it's really cool to see it. Like, if anyone wants to go check it out, you have your archives on lifethen.com.
Yeah.
You can go there and you can see it all archived from day one all the way till now for the new Kickstarter. And it's just, John and I both love watching the evolution of a creator, right? Like, just evolve from like those first few pages to like where it's at now. And like we were chatting in the DMs, I said, like, every time you, like, especially now that you're actually writing like a story instead of like, because you're just doing like these 1-page comics before, right? Or 1 or 2 pages, tell just a quick little fun story. But then, like you said, you decide, I want to make like a regular comic, like a one shot full story of 20 some odd pages. And like I said, every time you started doing that, you could see, like, you'd level up. Then the next one, you'd level up. And like now, 6 doomed
6 Doom-wrecked
Knights, like the coloring, like you said, just even another, like you leveled up again. And like you see, it's much more complex. Like you said,
well, there's a few in there that are pretty long.
Yeah.
Like the Key is almost 48 pages long. It's almost a double issue, right?
Yeah, that was going to be the first comic,
Mm.
and I didn't plan it out, and it just kept going.
Mm.
And so there was a point where I abandoned the idea of printing it because I didn't think it would be like, Shrub is only 16 pages. Most of the new ones are 24 pages,
Yeah.
but I didn't think I could print a 48 page comic. But yeah, it just kept going. I just wanted to keep exploring with it.
Yeah. Like this one you saw, this is where you really got into the, okay, this character is one color, the background is another one with slight variations of them. Like you can even see it. It's really well presented on the cover. Like you got the yellow, the blue, you know, and it was very, very bold. Whereas now, like with the new one for the Kickstarter, when people back it, or if they go on Webtoons, like and watch the evolution, you really see now you're starting to get into like playing with different tones within the same like color, like purples.
Mhm.
You're playing with it, then gradually into a blue, and then boom, you'll give like this contrasting color to give it like pop, so it like the character stands out right from the rest. And not just that, your line work too. The evolution of like your line work is fantastic. Like
Thank you. Yeah.
all the creatures from Doomwreck Knights, like it's great. Like the body horror and everything, it's fantastic. Like I love it. It was such a fun book to read.
Yeah, a lot of it, like what you're describing, the reason why I do all that stuff in a sense is to challenge myself. You know, the idea of just doing the same book over, like that's why his costume changes in every story. Like if you go to the first page ever that I drew, he looks radically different than he does now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just about challenging myself as much as I can to, like, you know, I'm not saying that this is some great monumental task that no one else could do. It's personal challenges. Like, okay, I did this last time and I like the way I did it, but could I do it better? Like looking at that face in the background of the video right now, like those eyes drive me nuts, and I'm probably going to change those in the printed edition, because it's like, yeah, like you try something and then you just, you know, like instead of getting it perfect, you just try it, you get it done, and then you go back and look at it 6 months later. You go like, okay, how can I learn from that? How can I do that differently next time? And like even the background picture right now, like those knights that are there, right? Like those are the early pages where I looked at them and was like, man, like I don't know, I didn't highlight red right. You know what I mean? So I had to try to change that later. You know, I said, okay, like try that again. Like every page that I do, I'm trying to some degree to try something new or to fix something that I do that I don't like. You know, like trying to make a challenge out of it, like to some sort of growth, you know, and in a good way. Like I said, that's what I enjoy about it. Like I feel like I got to keep building. And that's what I kind of mentioned earlier about doing something different next time, is part of me feels like I kind of don't want to do this the same way again. You know, I want to do a new story. Like I said, you know, I described it as Conan in space, right? And there's only so many times Conan can kill the wizard. You know what I mean? And so I have all these other ideas that I want to do that don't really fit into life. So I want to kind of incorporate it all together. But the point I'm getting is that it's about challenging yourself, like trying to do something new and fun and exciting, something that I like. And
Yeah,
you know,
like the 6 Doomed Wreck Knights, it kind of made me had a little bit of Lord of the Ring vibes to it, like the Wraith Knights. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably inspired by that a little bit.
Big time.
It's obviously sci-fi, right? But it's
Yeah.
you see these little influences here and there, these little ideas. Like there's one early on. Is it
adapted into the Mouth of Madness? It's just called Into Madness, but like you
Yeah.
like do a Lovecraft story in space, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you're absolutely like once you see the cover, like the finished cover for 6 Doomwreck Nights, like the Lord of the Rings influence on that is very noticeable.
Yeah.
Like very intentional. Because the thing I did about that comic, if you notice, like a lot of the backgrounds are high contrast photos, and that's that Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings animated series stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's what they used to do. Like they would do that. They would just photocopy backgrounds and then use colors over top of them. And I wanted to do that for fun because I wanted to evoke that retro style. I wanted to do that. And I'm trying to remember if they're on I think I named the planet Bakshi or something like that.
Okay.
Just to really hammer that home.
Yeah.
And then like they are the ring race, like that's what they are. Like they are. It's very much to be like that. For fun. It's intentional, right? Like not to try to hide it and sneak it by anybody. Like the Life himself comes from an art project I did back in 2011, and it was this group art project in town where someone started drawing 3 panels, and then they took the last panel and then they gave it to the next artist. So you only had 1 panel. So when I got mine, I thought it'd be really funny because I was starting to read a lot of Mobius comics to draw some Mobius stuff. And I created this character Life out of all these different elements of my favorite comic book stuff. So like in the original, he's got a shaved head and he's got those earplugs because that's the Meta Barons. You know what I mean? Like it was meant to be a ripoff on purpose. His armor is from an old game called Warzone. The asymmetrical shoulder pads, that's from the comedian from Watchmen. The text on his body, that's from Martial Law. The elbow pads and the shoulder pads, that was from Judge Dredd. What else is his name Life? His name Life is from the Wizards cartoon because the Necron 99 becomes peace. And so I thought, okay, his name's Life. That's
that symbol too on the
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I got rid of that because I thought it was a little too earthbound. I thought it made him look like he was from Earth, so I got rid of that. Yeah. But the peace symbol was for peace. Like that was what it was for. All that stuff was meant to be an homage because that's all it was ever going to be. And then I started I abandoned the idea for a couple of years, but I was always daydreaming new story ideas. And then when I started when I launched Life, I forgot that it was a ripoff, and I had to start changing the character. Like. It was like, oh, he looks like the Meta Baron. I was like, oh shit, I got to change it because I forgot I had ripped everything off.
Yeah. One thing I really like that. That thing I love that I noticed in for the Kickstarter that's launching tomorrow. Many of you might be watching this on the replay. Well, it'll be live probably while you're watching this, so you can go back to Kickstarter. Johnny dropped the link there in the chats, and he'll have it in the description, so you could just go click on that to go back to Kickstarter, which launches March 1st. But one thing I love about this new one that's coming out for the Kickstarter, your page layouts. You seem like you had a lot more fun with your page layouts. Like you said, in the backgrounds, you have like those tentacled creatures kind of just as a graphic element in the background. And some of your layouts too, it looked like you had a lot more fun with it. And I noticed that too. You got a little more creative with your page layouts in this latest entry.
Yeah. Like what I was trying to do for the longest time is that if you go look at these old Mobius books, which I have one right here, these old Marvel Epic Mobius books, they follow that really regimented like French style where everything is squares, right? And for the longest time, that's what I did. I followed that style. I just kept doing that style, like always using the squares. And then as I was getting like further and further along, I was like, I don't really want to do just squares anymore. And then as that story, the 6 Doomwreck Night stories progresses, I wanted to do kind of something from that Judge Dredd Necropolis where everything about the page is getting weird. The colors are weird, the background is getting weird, the characters, everything's getting weird. And so I thought that'd be more interesting to have the panels start bleeding into each other. And so like when that process, like the third act starts, they're still squares and they start becoming blobbier. And then
as that mutation thing happens.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Without spoiling the story.
Yeah, exactly.
The characters, the backgrounds, everything just starts kind of getting weird. And so and when I was doing that, like that was a lot of the feedback I got from people. It's like, I really like your layouts now. And I was like, let me tell you, that is hard as shit to do. Like, it is tough to, like, when you're used to just doing squares, which are easy, I had to come up with all these new ideas and try to, but it was fun challenging myself back to that whole point, right? I was like, yeah, like, I like this. And then near the end of the story, like, well, maybe I won't say that, but yeah, like, that's what I wanted to do, was just try to do more fun things.
Yeah. And it's cool because it adds a layer to the storytelling.
Hopefully.
Right. Yeah. It's a great way you laid it out as things start.
Thank you.
Shit starts hitting the fan, as we say. So the layouts start getting a little more chaotic and not chaotic purposefully. Like it makes sense with the story and everything. Yeah.
Like to be like just a little, like, start evoking more insanity, I think is what I was trying to go for, right?
Yeah. It was good. Like I said, every time I see, like, because you post a lot of your pages up on socials too for people to see, like, as it's progressing and stuff, and you kept putting up a few pages here and there, and I'm like, fuck, man, it just gets better and better with each one, so
well, yeah, like all these comics that I'm putting out, you can read them for free, like you said, on my website, lifethen.com. They're on Tapas, they're on Webtoons. I'm in that kind of like the promotion phase, I'm trying to get my name out there. Like, we're all kind of doing that thing where you have a few hundred followers and things like that, and you're just trying to get noticed, right? Like, and so, yeah, like, here, read the book for free. And that's what I like about the Kickstarter. That's why I did the Kickstarter. Like, I didn't really want to do web comics. I wanted to do comics. Yeah. And so my end goal was to print physical comics. And so if you want to read it for free, go nuts. That's fine. Great. I hope you really enjoy it. If that's all you want to do, please, thank you. I love it. Like, I'm really not trying to just separate the two kind of audiences. But like, yeah, like, I wanted to have comics. So like, when I sell my comics, like, I'm hoping that the physical comic buyers, that's what they want. You know what I mean? Like, here you go. Like, this is what I love. I love physical comics. I love reading comics on the toilet.
Yeah.
So, that's what I wanted to have people do. Like, so, it's just, like, so yeah,
I'll
read it all, man. Yeah.
Go back to Kickstarter tomorrow. God damn it. Go back to Kickstarter tomorrow. I don't care what your excuse is.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about the book, I don't know if you did this on purpose originally, but I love that as the book goes on, Life's hair gets longer and spikier. Was that something you had planned, or did that just kind of happen?
Well, so that's I have a buddy named Cody Schroeder, and he's one of my childhood best friends, and he's an amazing freelance artist. He doesn't really do comics, but he does comic adjacent stuff in video games. And he talked about this whole thing about, like, lean into it. Like, the more uncomfortable something makes you feel, the more you should lean into that, and then just keep going and pushing yourself. And so, like I said, like, when I first designed Life, he was shaved head because I wouldn't have to draw hair, because drawing hair is hard as shit. And at the time, I still had hair, and I started to shave my head because I got old. But I didn't want Life to look like me anymore. But I also, like I said, I had to get away from the fact that he looked like the Meta Baron. So I gave him some spiky hair, like some. So in Shrub, he's got hair and some goggles on, and it's very kind of earthbound, spiky hair. And then, after that, I was like, it's not very sci-fi, So I grew his hair a little bit longer. I was like, I'll make his hair a little bit longer, and then I think I trimmed it on the sides a little bit at first, to kind of make it a little bit more sci-fi. And then I was watching this old cartoon on my lunches called Exo Squad, and they all had really weird, punky, futuristic haircuts. And I was like, man, like, I should just chop the sides off, make the top big and long and stuff like that, and try to really make it longer and weirder, so it's more like Calvin and Hobbes and Dragon Ball, like just this big weird hair. And it doesn't make sense. Like, if you were actually trying to cut your hair like that, it wouldn't make sense, because I just don't know how to draw hair. But I was like, screw it, it works for Calvin and Hobbes, I can do it. And yeah, it wasn't that he was getting older so much as it's just like, I wanted to keep changing it and pushing it, and it just serendipitously works out that way. Like, yeah, he's getting older, because there was one story he had a beard for a little while there too, and I chopped that off and stuff like that, because that was to just evoke time change. So his hair changes, sometimes for the story and sometimes just for, like, personal challenge.
Yeah, that was in Problem, which is kind of where you did a tonal shift. In your earlier ones, you kind of tried to keep the book a little more serious toned, a little more kind of edgy. And then around when you did Problem, you really started injecting more and more humor into the arcs, you know what I mean? Which I thought was cool too. Was that a thing that you, like, noticed that you were, like, making them maybe a little too serious and you wanted to play around more? Or was that just something you didn't realize you were doing?
Yeah, like, I think when I was doing the individual stories, I was kind of flip-flopping, depending on how I felt that day. And then I think with that one, because I think the psychic's name is Zro or something like that. I can't really remember. But I wanted him to have a sidekick because I really wanted to emphasize contrast. You know, it was something that I always remembered in an old Wizard interview about Frank Miller talking about Robin in Dark Knight Returns, is that Robin is there to make Batman look big. And I thought about that, and I was just like, yeah, like maybe he needs like a funnier sidekick, and just to give the comics some more like sarcasm, you know, like biting, scathing irony kind of stuff, you know. And so I thought, yeah, like, you know, I just maybe lighten it up a little bit. And even with the printed comics, you know, I kind of go a little bit funnier, a little bit more serious, a little bit funnier, but try to balance the two. And I think that one was that one particularly, I wanted them to have sort of like a buddy cop feel. You know what I mean? Life had to talk to somebody, you know, someone who could, you know, narrate the story as well, right? Because before that, I think is when I did the Key, and the Key was really serious, all things considered. And so I think I wanted a break from that too. I was like, okay, I should make it jokey again, because I think it took me 2 years to do that one. And so I was like, okay, time to go back to kind of more comedy stylings, I think.
You want to take Johnny? We can take a look at the two. Well, these will be probably included as add-ons. Your two previous books that from your last Kickstarter.
Yeah, they're in there. Yeah.
Okay, so
my first one will be there too. I'm gonna do a reprint of my.
Oh, you're gonna reprint the Shrub?
Yeah, that one I did a much smaller print run because it was my first, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna sell well, and I sold out like 2-3 months. I sold 300 copies. I sold like 300 copies.
I was gonna get a copy, and I was like, "Oh shit, it sold out."
Yeah, I was surprised, and so I'm gonna that second printing of the first issue will be in the Kickstarter as well. So you'll be able to get these two.
Very cool.
And then the first one as well.
Yeah. Joe and I love Pranger. That one's probably your funniest, I would say. Just because of the character Fish, and I forget what the other guy's name is. The other, hey, let's team up guy. They kind of disappears after the first page, and then
I gotta look that up. I write these names down. Flugnarg. His name was Flugnarg.
Yeah, that's great.
But Fish was so funny. Fish, I can't fucking understand you, man.
Yeah, I won't lie. Like, I really like my new one. There's a lot of things I did there in that one, but I kind of think Pranger's my favorite because I was really proud of that one.
Yeah, Pranger is definitely my favorite one. Like I mentioned it to you, and you're like, yeah, my wife, she likes. We won't go through the whole thing, but we'll just flip through each one really quick to give people a taste of what they're in for when they back the Kickstarter if they want to pick up these. The Red Wizard you did before, but I don't think it really matters which order. No. Like
I do them to be self-contained on purpose, so you can buy. That's why they don't have numbers on them. People ask, which is number 2? I was like, well, technically, this is my newest story. I do that kind of bullshit, right? Because
if you're going by the evolution of your work, Red Wizard is first.
Yeah.
So I'll put this one on the side for now, and we'll open this one up. So Red Wizard, right away, like you see that. Just what's great about the physical copies is you get a cover, which you don't get on your web series. So that's the only place you really get the covers is if you get the physical copies, because you don't even put them in there as chapter breaks on your site or anything. So
they're for the comics. Yeah, I got to do something that's exclusive to the comic, and that the online audience isn't going to mess, right?
Yeah, because you have your opening.
I love the panel
page with the name, but no cover.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So here we go. Yeah, and I like how you put like the influences right from the start. Like you wear them on your sleeve, right? Proudly on your sleeve.
This is a tribute nostalgia retro book. Like, this is an old style that doesn't really exist a lot anymore. Like, it does, but it's not huge. And I'm just like, why throw it out? Like, I love it. Why throw it out? Why not play in that still? There's a million modern comics out there. Why not play in the old style? So,
and I love your logo design. Simple but super effective. Clean.
Thank you.
Looks professional. I can't say enough about people that do good logo designs for their comics. It just helps sell the book so much, and I think Life is a great design there.
Thank you. That logo was inspired by the Japanese logo for Kelly's Heroes, I think.
Okay.
I bought a magazine that was all about Kelly's Heroes because I love that movie,
the
Clint Eastwood movie, and there was like this kind of logo, kind of similar to that, but like I didn't do a good job like stealing up what they did, but that's where the inspiration came from. And then just like punk rock lettering for the Necropolis.
You should have a character like Oddball in one of the episodes of Life. Crazy ass commander. Just woof, woof.
That's a good call, man.
And I don't know if that's a little bit better with the glare.
Yeah,
Here, I'll
yeah,
put-
glossy pages, man. You can
Yeah,
pay for it with glare.
That's the. I'd have to get a thing to cut the light, like soften the.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get.
What are they
those
called? There's a word for that. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it's a diffuser, I think, or something.
Yeah, that's it. That's the diffuser.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can build one of those with tracing paper.
Yeah, or just any kind of thin, material, white material. Yeah.
I had one of those for like Warhammer models.
Your environments. I love the environments you draw in these. Like always, like kind of like not always, but often desert like landscapes, kind of.
Yeah,
like
that's not as much.
lands.
That's not as much Star Wars as it is Mobius. It's a lot of Mobius influence, and you realize like desert is a lot less to draw. You know, it creates a really good atmosphere, and there's so much less to draw.
Yeah, like definitely you can see like Badlands influences, stuff like that from the Badlands, and then your cityscapes are often pretty futuristic, almost like a
post-apocalyptic here. Like it looks like this place has been there forever, and it's like falling apart, which is just so cool looking. Kind of Inky Bellal-ish. He always has everything looking worn out in his books.
Yeah, just like all very classic sci-fi, like, you know, that sort of alien vibe, you know what I mean? Like it's dirty space. Like I love that. Yeah.
And here you can see too, as we're flipping through, you can see how you're going with more of the flat colors, like you said.
Yeah.
A lot of primaries, like a little bit of variation within the blues and stuff, but you're not going too crazy here. You're keeping it pretty simple.
I'm trying to keep it really. I'm this is the point where I had written down. I think the original title of the comic, as a text file, was something like a Bakshi's like heavy metal funkin' acid trip or something like that. That was the name of the text file because I was trying to like really evoke weird acidy colors, and this is me trying that but not really figuring it out. And you see all that black on the page? I hate that. I was trying to cut corners because I thought I was going to cover that all with dialogue, but I changed the dialogue, and all that black drives me nuts.
Looks great.
Thank you. Good, because I hated it.
I think it helps. I think it helps that all the colors kind of pop a little more. Like if there was just more color back there. I don't know, and it also kind of gives it that space look. It's very sci-fi. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what this planet that he's on is. You know what I mean? Because he's always in a different system, a different planet. So this might just be a really dark one. You know what I mean?
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
This one, I love this panel. It's super effective. Where she's just yellow, and the others are nice cool tones. So it makes her really pop. Like when she walks through the door, her presence is felt. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
like those little tricks I pick up looking at other people's comics, being like, okay, cool. Like, so they kind of match the background. They all kind of blend together, but they stand out. And then she's just bright. And then like the next panel, like where life is just in the background. Like I love that trick where the main character is just hanging out in the background. So there's attention drawn to him, but he's not popping out of there yet. Like I'm showing him. Like,
point.
Yeah. He's just there. Like he's just hanging out there. He's just there.
Yeah. Like that's another thing you can do. Like create focal points with the colors and how you apply them and stuff. Yeah.
Well, kind of like in the Klie, she is the main character of it more than life, as I would say. So it makes sense that she would take more precedent over like being recognized than him at this point, really.
Yeah, that's a Judge Dredd trick I picked up, where Dredd is the protagonist but rarely the main character. You know, and like they do it a lot with Batman comics too, where it's like, like you follow somebody and they grow and they change, and he's kind of just him. Like he's almost a force of nature in their adventure. And I tried. That's where I really tried that the first time was with the Problem, and then I wanted to do it again here. Like you'll see me do that a lot with my comics, where I take a second whack at an idea because I'm like I could do that better. And so she's very much like I think her name was Lael in that comic. Yeah. Where she's like her but different. Whereas like I wanted to try to nail that a different way. Like Lael is a lot softer, a lot more altruistic, whereas Maine is kind of more like, maybe she's trouble. Yeah.
Another thing about this book that I love is like you have the Necro cult that actually end up being good guys in it with like that kind of like evil sounding name, which I thought was kind of a fun way to take it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Cheap tricks, man. I love that kind of stuff, right? Like play on your expectations.
It's great. The brutality and like just, blam.
Yeah.
Going that dude in half. Yeah, just
Yeah, just like fuck it.
My
He's a
weird-
mercenary, right? Or
Yeah.
bounty hunter, mercenary, whatever.
Yeah,
you wanna
exactly.
call it.
Either or, right? Like,
It's a gun for hire, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah, whatever
And
you're
that's-
paying him to do, that's what he's up to. Or
Yeah.
even you don't even have to pay him sometimes if you just got a good
Depending,
enough story.
depending
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the situation, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to play with that idea where, like, you know, he's a scum. You think he's a scumbag, but he does have some sort of moral code. Like, it's very much like he does these things because he's got to survive. But sometimes he just does it because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, like in
You know?
Shrub, like he's like,
Yeah.
okay, this guy doesn't have anything, so I'm not going to really take anything from him.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get his cow back or his space
Yeah.
cow, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that's how the audience, like, who this guy goes around murdering people, and like, so how's the audience supposed to feel that he's the good guy? Because he does the right thing, you know, and he protects people. But you know,
In the comments, Travis Patrick says this book looks like it should be in heavy metal in the 70s or 80s. And thank you,
Yeah.
Travis. I think that's what it was going for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 110%. That's what I'm going for. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
And here, I love how you bring in the pinks when they go into the tunnel system.
Yeah.
And I love this where you do it here, especially your characters and the backgrounds, you switch it. All right. From the backgrounds are pink, the environment is pink, your characters are mainly in yellow. And then here you switch. Now the background environment is yellow and your characters are like that pink, purpley tone. And I like that. It's a fun play back and forth. It helps create a little energy and momentum throughout from panel to panel instead of looking kind of the same. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's something. This is me practicing more with color and going like, hey, pink and yellow work together. How can I use that a second way? And then, you know, like I always got my little color wheel out, you know, and trying to figure these colors out. And you're like, okay, and just like, okay, so these are the colors for this part of the world they're in, because then those colors will carry over for a chapter, you know, to kind of give you an idea of where they are in their travel, you know, and just like, yeah, you know, like it works. But at the same time too, like that's how you know it's a different, like they're in the same location, but it's a different shot. You know what I mean? Like, okay, here they are, but then it comes back, so you know where they are, but like it all ties it together that way. Hopefully that's what it evokes.
Well, Daniel Warren Johnson used it in the same color, kind of pink in the background, when Bruce is talking to his father in a flashback.
Oh, okay.
It has the background this kind of pink, and then the characters. So
interesting. Yeah, I didn't see that. No, that's cool.
Yeah, the annual that Daniel Warren Johnson.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. We sold
This
tons
here,
of those.
I love like the fact that you went with these solid colors, especially for groups like mobs. Right? It's not the individual, it's the group of people. So it helps create more of that like mob feeling, like they're one entity, like a wave coming at you, so it's pretty cool. It helps work at that too. Not one individual is a threat. It's like more the mass of them all, you know, and have it all one color creates more of that feeling of a mob coming at you.
And I think in this book particularly, I kept the villains, like I think they're always red in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think every time I
Red Wizard
show
makes
them,
sense.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
Red
think they're
Wizard,
always red,
yeah.
and then so just like I said, like make the background red, make it all red. It's just evil. It's evil. You know, Star Wars, right? It's the red lightsaber.
Yeah, more of the pinks, some green. You're having fun with the colors a lot, and one of my favorite panels right here.
Yeah, that's the Wolverine homage, right?
Jump crash.
Yeah.
Love that. Great, great
I pulled
panel.
out that-
Great layout. Great everything. Like this silhouette, like almost like just enough of the city to break up the panel.
Yeah.
Like the skyline here, you know, it's great. I love it.
That's that Frank Miller Wolverine panel, right? Like I pulled that one out and you know just did the homage that where he's blasting through the window with ninjas all over the place, right? Like I just read that issue again at some point. And I was like, I got to use that for something, man.
Yeah. And the fact you never see the horizon anywhere, so it creates more of that aspect of height or the void where you don't know. Like when you jump through something and you don't know what's out there, it's kind of like you're jumping into the void, the unknown. And I love how you don't see, like, so you don't know how high it is. It could be 4 feet, it could be 400 feet, you know, it's like,
because when you go to the next page, like, I don't know if I landed it properly, but how do you create that sense of like they dropped hard, right? Like, you know, how they went a long distance. And like I said, like, don't show where the street is.
Yeah. And then, like the wind knocked out of them. Yeah. Life breaks out his cannon, starts shooting.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. More killing.
Joe got me these for Christmas, and yeah, I'd wanted to see them get these for a while, just because of just seeing them. I got kind of the feeling of the first time I saw a Rogue Trooper comic, and I was just like, "Ooh, what is that? I want to see what that is. What the fuck is this blue guy about?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and that's kind of, and it did not disappoint. A little funner than most Rogue Trooper stuff because like Rogue Trooper is usually really serious. So
Yeah, Rogue never really had that like that's like that irony and that sarcasm of dread. You know, Rogue was always, because it was a war comic, it was meant to be really serious the whole time. And so that's what I think, you know, I try to do with Life, is that have him have a lot more funny moments, like that dread humor in there, you know.
I
But
love this,
I love Rogue Trooper, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
love this panel, the wide shot landscape, and there's a weird little branch here that kind of looks phallic a little bit.
What?
that Mobius influence right there, man.
Yeah. That's H.R. Giger at work, man, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
All it needed to do is leaking a little sap from it, and that would have been over the top.
I think at this point, I was still trying to put some plausibility in there. So like, yeah, no leaking sap.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
somewhere in 6 Doomwreck Nights, there's one in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it needs a pee hole. And I drew the pee hole on there too, just to make sure there's no questions.
Yeah. Then here we kind of get introduced to like the Red Wizard and stuff. So definitely there's a shift in the colors where it gets more like the brighter red, with the backgrounds are more like muddied red, burgundy almost. So
there's a line in one of those pages, I think it's the bottom wide page, where it says like "Take her to the stone," and that's from Slain. That's from a Slain t-shirt I had.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like more 2080 influence.
Yeah,
where it just said like "Take her to the stone," and I was like, yeah, or "Take him to the stone." So I had to use that.
And I love the red with the blue coloring palettes. It definitely creates like a very, I don't know, it's just cool. It creates a very shocking, like, because like it's a very warm tone against a cool tone, so it creates like kind of a tension between the two, right? Because they're two conflicting tones of color.
Well, yeah, you get that you get the warmth, you get the red, you get the fire, you get the vibrancy, and then they're cold, they're shrinking, they're small. You know, they're standing out. Yeah. Just playing on those natural ideas.
Yeah. Then the Bob, the grabber, great stuff. Then the good action, I like that.
Yeah.
And one thing I kind of enjoy about these books is when there is a female character in them, they always have like a bigger destiny than you know, say like you know, a male sidekick.
Yeah. I mean,
not to give the story of this one away, but like that's like the key too. Like I kind of appreciate that, you know what I mean? Like it's and I love the you having the big panel on the back, you know what I mean? Like that's a, I don't know.
That's from those Mobius books too, right? That's
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they would always do that. They would always put a panel in the back there, right? Yeah. Like with the female characters, like, you know, it's drawing girls is hard, so I rarely do, because it's hard to draw girls. The female form has so much more flow to it than just the clunky male form, right?
Yeah.
And so, and these characters, like, it's the story is about the contrast, right? Like, he's just this weapon, you know, and he's in their world, and he goes on the journey with them. So they have this arc, and he's just the weapon of the story, you know. So it's the contrast of the two people. So if he's cold and hard and vicious, you know, they're softer, warmer, more approachable, more human, I guess, in a sense, right? He's just, like I said, he's the weapon in those stories.
Well, I mean, and the funny thing is unlike Lila and the Key, Maine is actually trying to be tough like him through most of the book, until the end where she like realizes her destiny, which I thought a little bit different. We're just trying to do the same character again, you know what I mean? Like she's like, no, I'm a bounty hunter too, I'm badass. You know? Yeah,
exactly, right? Like that's exactly. I didn't want it to be the same character, but I also didn't want her to be the damsel character, like the girl. Like she's just the girl character that, you know, guys write where it's like, oh yeah, she can't do anything. No, she's a very competent character.
Yeah,
she's there because
from the start when she walks into the bar, she's the one who fires off that first shot that saves. Like there's a guy ready to shoot Life in the back, I think, and then she just pulls out and kind of does him a favor, right? does them a
Yeah,
solid.
she's like, if I remember correctly, she was like a competent, like Bilbo Baggins. You know, she was the robber character. She was the person that was there to help them do the robbing. But she was an experienced version of that character. She wasn't like the kind of clumsy character. It was just a Hobbit nod, right? Yeah. So she was there because she knew what she was doing.
So this was the second book because you did these two were double issue Kickstarter you did for the two.
Well, technically, yeah. Like I had already printed the Red Wizard, so I added that as an add-on. But yeah, this is the third book. This is the third book, but my first Kickstarter. And that Kickstarter was to launch this book.
Okay, so the Red Wizard and the Shrub you printed yourself, and then you Kickstarted for the Pranger.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, because that was a part of my growth plan. You know, like my first book, I printed a smaller amount of copies, and I got rid of that one. And then the second book is like, okay, I print way more copies, and I didn't think I was really ready to expose myself to the Kickstarter audience. You know, because just in case it failed, you know, I didn't want to have that loss on my record.
Yeah, and I know you had issues with the printer too, going out of business, and then
this one, oof.
Yeah. I remember seeing your posts online. Then one package got really damaged. One box of
all of them did. All the boxes showed up damaged,
okay.
And there was like 5 boxes, and so I could fill one full box with just the unsellable copies because they were just annihilated. Yeah, but they were all smashed.
Yeah.
Damn.
So Pranger. This is my favorite
first panel, man. Like that just
fantastic. Yeah. With on the wall there, the no law. How you did the blood and everything. It's tight. It's good.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, that's I think I remember hearing the Ninja Turtle guys talk about this, about how Marvel would do that a lot, where there'd be like one massive panel, then a little small panel. That's your hook panel. That's your hook page. Like that gets you going, right?
Yeah.
So
it's great, and you have your title for the story and everything. Great, and just below too. Like you're having a little more variations in the background. You're playing with it a little more, even within the characters themselves. Like introducing like maybe a little more light source and stuff, a little more than the others. And this, like, that's a great panel. This one's equally as good. Like, I mean, look at the details in the face and everything. It's great right off the bat. You open this book and you're like, fuck. You know,
that was me.
It hooks you right away.
That was me pushing that. Like I mentioned earlier, like the highlights earlier. Like the last one didn't have very extreme highlights. It was very subtle because I was afraid of it. I couldn't commit to it. And this was me going, no, like smash those highlights in there.
Yeah.
And you like this one has a very heavy kind of Western film influence to it. Not on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. This is a space Western. You know, I used to call the book. I used to describe it like I call it now Conan in Space or G.I. Joe versus Aliens, but I used to call it Star Wars meets Good, Bad, and the Ugly. And then they put out this show called The Mandalorian and fucked it all up for me. And this is me, doing that Western vibe, like, you know, like, hey, they go into town, you know, the bounty hunters show up, there's the big bad in town, you know, all that, the Good, Bad, the Ugly, fistful of dollars, all that stuff. Yeah, like, that's them.
Once again, you have a mob of people talking to all the same colors.
Yeah.
I like that. Separate, and he stands out. He's the one color talking to him, so it directs, like you're directing the reader, like what's going on, where you want them their eye to flow and everything. So it's pretty good stuff. Effective.
That's all here, man. It's all here. It's all Carlos. You know, I mean, just studying those pages and trying to figure out.
See, you're starting to get fondness for pink as well. A lot more pink already right off the bat.
It works, man. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's as a color, it works. And I remember I was at a convention and one of the people there was talking about their booth being all pink, and I could overhear them. There's like, pink pulls, man. Like, people see pink and they just want to buy stuff.
I think it's it's neutral but welcoming as well.
Yeah,
it's
a color that just works. And man, like you put that little bit of blue in there. You know, man,
it's comforting, right? It's not aggressive. Yeah. It's not, you know, so it's a comforting, welcoming color, you know, so it draws the people in. It makes them feel safe. It's like a safe color, warm, cuddly, you know.
Like Joe was saying, it's neutral, but it's loud at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's a loud color, but it's not like as threatening as like a bright orange or a yellow.
Yeah, like look at that page. Like look at all the greens versus all the purples and the pinks on the other page, right? Like which page is more appealing. Someone explained the science of it to me. I can't remember what it is, but something about like greens and yellows are very repellent to the eye, and pinks and purples and blues are very like drawing it. I can't remember what it was, so I don't want to explain like I know what I'm talking about. But somebody told me about that. That's a good point. Yeah.
And this fantastic, just like a little bit of the outline. So he's like in the shadow, not quite revealing, but you can see he's massive, right?
Yeah.
Great stuff. I love these 2 panels.
I think I
Good work.
hadn't quite decided what he was going to look like at that point yet. Like I had a rough idea, but he hadn't finished yet. So it was a good way to hide it all.
Yeah.
So I quite took that shortcut.
It's definitely effective. Good stuff. Right here, some more blood. I love that panel. One of my favorite panels again right here.
Yeah, I love that one too. Yeah, that's good to hear. Like because I love that one. Yeah,
green with red. You got the pop from the contrasting colors. So it definitely gets the message across.
And just the stupid joke of them being like, I guess he was a traitor, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is very much like the space adventures of Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Did we go past it, Johnny?
What with fish?
Were they making their teams?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
At the beginning, like they basically got to split up, and because Pranger is huge, and like he's just like,
right here he's like, oh, I'll be back. I got to go get something, right?
Yeah, get my sniper rifle or whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. So they're like, my God, not like let's just go before he gets back, So
get rid of that loser. Yeah.
Great
hid that shit in there right away.
And I love how Fish never shuts up, but like you don't understand a thing he ever says, except for maybe we should join at the beginning. Yeah.
He speaks a little bit of the language, and then everything else is just
a few keywords here and there just to be able to get across. Great explosion here. Love that.
I must have stolen that from some sort of like comedy or something, that like a guy who can't speak English but can always say the terrible words. You know what I mean? So like, I love that bit. It just slayed me. Like this comic is me writing stuff to make myself laugh. You know what I mean? Yeah. All my favorite bits.
Right here, the explosion, good stuff. Love the designs of a lot of the characters here.
Thank you. Yeah. I enjoy that. I really enjoy just creating characters, and like, a lot of them just don't have background. Cool. So look at this design. It's fun. It's one of the problems about drawing a main character is you have to draw him the same way. And sometimes when you're drawing, you're sitting there looking at going like, hey, he doesn't look the same, and it just looks wrong to you. So when you just keep populating with new characters, it gives you some artistic freedom to just try something.
And here they get into a little hoopla here.
Yeah.
Start fighting.
All those shoulder pads come from Fist of the North Star. Nice. Right around that time, I was reading Fist of the North Star, and everyone's wearing football shoulder pads like Mad Max. And so I was like, hey, put it in there.
Definitely very football-esque with
all that stuff.
And everything,
You need to make them lick their axes now.
Yeah, there you go.
Like the characters in that always do.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And like that page on the left there where it's the same panel repeated again and again and again. Like I love that comedy setup. They use that in Preacher all the time, where they would just show the same panel. I love that setup, or just stuff in the background or something like that.
Like the guys the two guys fighting each other, and then he brains him with the pipe. Fished kind of with the guns.
I got that sound effect, fwang. I got that from an old Ninja Turtle comic from the Archie stuff.
Right there.
Yep, fwang.
And I think this might be the only issue where like Life kind of gets his ass kicked a little bit, right? Like usually he's able to kind of just beat the villain's ass when he gets to it, but Pranger actually kind of fucking gets the better of him for the most part.
He's a badass. Pranger's a big boy.
Exactly. Yeah, like you want to give your villain some threatening. Like you can't just have him walk in there with a god coat on and just one shot him, right? Like they're gonna get beat up in this one. Yeah,
it's fun panel. The horns, very stalker kind of what we'll call it, the Frazetta.
Yeah, Death Dealer. Yeah,
Death Dealer a little bit. With the air hose, and here you got some more football action going on in the background there. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, Johnny, what you're saying, like he can't understand anything, so he finds crap. Yeah.
But meanwhile, like Fish is shooting the guy behind him that's going to kill him, right? Like
Yeah.
he's just screaming at him. Fish is like, "Don't worry, I got it. Don't, it'll be fine."
Yeah.
Ding. Yeah, I got him. Don't worry about it.
There you get the introduction of the big bad right here, Pranger.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, he just grabs people, rips them apart, crushes their heads. Love that.
So that's how you know they're dead in my comics. They blow their heads up. Like guys.
Yeah, that's it. There's
no head.
Yeah,
it's not coming back from that.
Here he rips them apart.
Yeah, a little predator action for you there. Yeah, like that's
badass.
Yeah.
He's fighting people. He can take a bullet too.
Shut up. Fish is quiet for once. He's just sitting there like,
yeah.
Yeah, they have it set up. Bam. And I guess we could kind of end it there.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's more action. There's a fun little twist at the end that sold me right away. I was like, yeah, this is it is a great payoff.
Yeah. Without spoiling it, like the end, like especially the last page of that book is the favorite ending I've ever written. It's so stupid that I just
told me. I was like right away. I love this one. I told Johnny like right away at the end. There's nothing quite as good as like just nailing the ending, right? It feels so good. Yeah.
And I felt like when I did the Red Wizard, I felt I didn't like the ending on that one. I was like, I felt it was, and maybe I needed a couple more pages to do the ending better. And like I like the ending for what it was, but I don't know. I didn't let it breathe the way I needed to. And so this one, when I did the Pranger one, I really wanted to nail the ending. So I wrote the ending early
first
and made sure there was a lot of room for exactly how I wanted to tell it. Because I was like, no, this has to happen the way I want. Because that's what happens when you're making the comic and you start sacrificing ideas as you go along. And you have like when I usually start with like the whole beginning, middle, and end thing, right?
Yeah.
And I have all my script ideas, and then I fill them in as I go. And sometimes as it changes as you go along, you have to pull things out. And I think I did that with Red Wizard more than I wanted to. And so when I did Pranger, I was like, no. Like this is concrete. Like this is not going anywhere. Like, and so I was really happy with the ending on that one. I don't know. I thought when I did it, I thought people were gonna hate it. I thought they're gonna like just think it was crap. And I was like, nope, this one's for me, man. Like I love it. So I'm glad it translated.
Red Wizard's ending reminds me a lot of Mad Max Fury Road's ending. Really, it's kind of like they part each other.
Yeah,
I get the feeling that they might run into each other again. I kind of got the same feeling at the end of the Key and at the end of Into Madness too. It's almost like you can return to like those characters some point later in the future if you wanted to.
If you go back, there's a lot of characters like that. There was a character named Gordy like that too, and the Key was going to be a 3-part story, and there was going to be what was it going to be called again? Like the Key, the Lock, and the Door, or something like that. Like I had all these ideas that he was going to go back to that world multiple times, and I just haven't got back to it. I don't think I ever will, to be honest, just because like I had this big huge story in mind, and if I did that, I wouldn't have room for anything else, and I didn't really want to finish it. But same thing, like with the Red Wizard, like the idea was that like I could go back to those characters, I could meet them again, and Gary, you're right, it absolutely is like Fury Road. I didn't think of that at the time, but you're right, it does have that sort of like like hey, like we can come back to this, and I did have some plans for it, but I set them up like that in case I ever want to, but because I only put one comic out a year, I just can't go back to them, without feeling like I was sacrificing forward momentum. You know what I mean? Like, cause like X-Men comics would do that. They call them danglers. They leave danglers all over the place. They come back to it, and I do that because I enjoy it, not just as a way to give myself an out later, but like I really haven't been able to go back to them. Like there was what was his name again? There was a character named Stinky. Early in the early pages, he was like this loser bounty hunter that life would keep running into, and I had a bunch more ideas for Stinky, and then there was going to be a story called The Life of Death of like Stinkyard J, whatever, like his full name, and there was going to be this story where that's how he died, and he was going to explain his, but I just never got around to it because I just got busy with something else. But yeah, like I would have these characters just come back and just kind of like have more fun and give the world like a sense of continuity to it.
I like Stinky. Yeah, he showed up twice, and the last time he leaves life, he's not whole anymore. So
No,
like
no.
that'd be kind of fun if like you have him show back up and just like lose
Yeah.
another part, you know? Again.
Well, there's well, again, I don't want to spoil it too much because I haven't quite finished the idea in my head, but like the project I'm working on next, the hope was that there would be room to revisit some of these characters and give them short stories, give them like a couple pages and just kind of revisit these characters, maybe not with life, but to be like, hey, like remember this guy, you know? And back to way back we were talking about earlier, if I had an omnibus out where you saw all these characters, and they were accessible enough, I think it would pay off well. But if I don't do that, you've never seen Stinky in any of my 4 comics, then why do you care about the life and death of Stinky, right? It just doesn't make any sense. So I got to do something like that. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but so I would like to revisit more of those characters because yeah, like I enjoy building them and giving them a little bit of time. And people say like, yeah, like you need to bring that guy back. Like when are you gonna go revisit, like you know, Fish? So yeah, I guess I should do a story with him again because I liked him too, right? But then I create some other new character and I want to go with that character instead. So it's tough. Like if you're only going to do 1 comic a year, you know, because I work a full-time job, right? And I do everything myself. But if I had it, you know, more of them, I would definitely populate the world with them a little bit more.
Well, I mean, even if you don't, like I said, like I don't think that they'll ever make a movie where like Mad Max bumps into Furiosa or like him running back into the kids from Thunderdome. You know what I mean? But like, there's the idea that maybe in the future they did run back into each other, and that's cool enough in my opinion. You know what I mean? The fact that you don't put finality on it. You know what I mean? There is the chance.
It gives the world some depth. It gives the world some size, right?
Right.
Interesting.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to find an image. Do you have any of the first book you had printed? Do you have any copies there with you?
Oh no, not handy. Yeah,
No.
like I mean, I sold everything I could, and then I think I only have some damaged copies buried somewhere in my garage.
There,
you know, like
I think I got it.
You know,
yeah. The Shrub issue, I didn't kind of reminds me a little bit of my favorite comic Usagi Yojimbo because of the little lizard that's following him.
Yeah,
it's like the little lizards in Usagi. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I read a little bit of Usagi. I didn't think about that. That's a great call. Yeah,
I like. He was a little Stegosaurus. I expected him to like do something crazy at the end, but like you gotta have that like maybe, but like no, it just but like I do love the end of Shrub like that.
Yeah, I think he's in the last panel. I think I bring him back there. Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what the influence behind that was with all the little dinosaurs, or like all the little characters like that. I'm trying to remember where I saw that, where I liked that idea, where it's like yeah, I'm sure I knew at one point, but I can't remember it anymore. But yeah, like I said, like little animal characters in the background, just kind of following them on their adventure. Just kind of, hanging out. I don't think that was from
that.
Yeah, it's fun, right? Yeah. I do a lot of that stuff to make my wife laugh.
Yeah,
you know, she loves all those little characters, all those little animal characters. So you'll be reading my comic, and there's all this brutality and heads blowing up and stuff, and then there's just like this cutie little animal, and it's 10 out of 10 there just to make my wife laugh.
See, I don't see it like that. Like when I was reading it on Webtoons, they kept making me sign in because like this book is mature, and I'm like, is it though? And I'm looking at like the gore, and I'm like, maybe a little bit, but I don't think I could sign in to see this. You know what I mean? Like
I love the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's
fantastic cover. When you really first posted it, I was like, man, that's good shit right there.
So yeah, I'm being kind of shy here. Like you see, like there's no blood on that one, right? Like I wanted to make sure that book was for that kids could read it. But yeah, like on Webtoon there. Me getting the mature rating, that was a compromise I had to do. I don't want to say what page it was, but in one of the stories there's it's in Pranger, it's a particularly violent panel, and it got flagged, and
so blurry. Even
that was more recently though, right?
Yeah, so it got flagged, and then I replaced it, and I put a big censor bar on it, like just like the blackout was censored, I was like, okay, shit, they're going to do that to me, whatever. And then they wrote back. It's like, nope, this isn't good enough. We don't do that here. And I said, I wrote them back this, like, really, I wasn't angry about it. I used my lawyer voice on it. And I said, like, okay, like, so you're putting me in an interesting position. This one page is one panel. It's one image. So you're asking me to redraw this. I was like, however, you're compromising my artistic integrity because that's not the intention. It's also an integral part of the story. It's near the end. And then if someone buys the physical printed media and the panel is now different, it changes the whole story. It changes their expectation as a customer. And I just kept prattling on with all this kind of like psychobabble. And it's just like, the person wrote him back was just like, okay, change it to mature reading. You can put it back. I said, sure, why not? So yeah, but I had heard that's kind of a death sentence on Webtoon.
Okay, so when I go in as a guest, you can't see it. But if you log in and like Johnny said, you create an account, then you can see it.
It would start reading it if I didn't create an account.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, like, and you know, like that. That's like that. Without going on a big rant, that's like that Facebook shit where it's just like you want me to do all this work and you want me to create traffic for your site, and then you're going to suppress it.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, right? Like, okay, whatever, guys. So, you know, I do what I can on there, but you know, I'd rather just sell comics.
Well, you have way gorier and way worse panels than that.
Yeah.
And that's how funny that's the one that they chose to be like.
Maybe because it was a splash page, so there's more right up in your face, maybe.
Some narc that day saw it and said, "Hey, I have a problem with this," because you know, like when you get when you put out a new panel, your comic goes to the top of like the listings. You know what I mean? Just like kind of chronologically. And so my guess is somebody that day was like, "Oh, what's new in sci-fi?" Because I'm listed in sci-fi and action, I think.
Okay.
So someone probably just went there, tried it. That was the page they saw that day because it goes to the first page or the newest page. Excuse me. They saw that page and, you know, oh my stars, you know, it couldn't possibly have this. And I mean, like, it's not drawn well, you know, like it's not drawn accurately or photorealistic, you know, and that Webtoon site is filled with all sorts of weird shit. And so, but somebody had a bone to pick that day with me and my cartoon violence, you know, so whatever, fuck them.
So are you anxious for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's not quite ready yet. My Kickstarter needs a little bit more work. I've been staying up till 3:00 in the morning every night working on it for the last couple of weeks. I just have to, I think all that's left is I have to finalize and make sure all the shipping prices are right.
Okay.
And then I think it's ready to go.
Awesome.
And yeah, like,
and you said you're reprinting this for the Kickstarter as well, right?
Yeah. It'll have a slightly different cover because I just kind of changed the logo and added a little bit more, like some white in the background just so you could tell it was a different cover. But yeah, that's my first comic, and I will have a second printing of that available on the Kickstarter.
You'll have obviously Pranger and the Red Wizard available as well.
Yes, I'll have. I might as well just tell you because it's going to go live anyways. But I'll have T-shirts, I'll have buttons, I'll have some other things in there too, like some art. You know, you can buy. Like I'll draw things like. I'll show you guys my tester here. This was my tester for my last one. I didn't like the way it turned out, but like I draw these little things by hand. I'll color them by hand. This one, yeah, as you can tell, I wrote notes like I'm shit. But I'll have drawings like that. I draw on the cover like.
This was sick, dude. Like
this was the test, yeah. Like this is the test. I'll draw on the cover. Yeah, I'll do all that. So there's a ton of stuff in there.
Cool.
And yeah, like I said, I'll do shirts, I'll do buttons this time. You know, a bunch of good fun stuff. So a lot of cool stuff will be on there.
So let's get into more fun stuff because you work traditionally.
Yeah.
So let's have you flex a little bit here.
Okay. So yeah, I'll show you guys the cover. This is the cover here. Nice. As you can see.
So you do blue line?
Yeah, I do blue line. Yeah. And traditionally with comic art, they drew blue line because it wasn't picked up by the photocopiers
machines. Yeah.
So now, when you scan these and in Photoshop, you can select the blue and delete the blue, and it'll just leave the black. There's a bunch of other stuff you got to do, but basically, instead of going like the way most comic artists work now, if they're going to draw by hand, they're going to put pencil on there. And then you have to erase all that.
Erase it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a huge pain in the ass. And I always do that, and I end up ruining the page because it'll end up creasing on me somehow. Yeah. And I don't want to do that. It's more work than I want to do. So drawing it in blue is the way, it's a traditional art right there.
That's an awesome. That's the cover. Very
thank you. That's the cover for my new book for my Kickstarter tomorrow.
That is killer.
The only problem is finding the blue pencils. Sometimes it can be a little tricky.
Yeah. So what are you using? What kind of paper or pen, microns? What are you using to
I use a ton of different stuff. So like the paper I use is just Bristol board from like just your kind of generic art stores. We have Michael's here in Canada. I don't know if you guys have that in the States.
Yeah.
But yeah, we use it. So I just go buy that Canson Bristol board, 11 by 17. I use I use blue technical pencils from a company called Jet Pens. It's mostly Japanese stuff, right? Like they still like oh my god.
Your blue pen is the technical pen.
Yeah, exactly.
The little
blue lead, and it's
the teeth that open up and
But
so you have that little sharpener.
No, it's not that one. I've seen those ones, and I have one of those, but I just use a straight up math class technical pen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it fits right in there. Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, you can buy that blue lead. It's all Japanese stuff, which is like just top notch, just the best.
Yeah.
And then like I use microns, I use Japanese brush pens, I use felt markers, I use all sorts of crap to just get it on there. And I have different size pens for different lines. Like, let's see if I get our page here. Yeah, it's a random page. Yeah, so like on a random page here, I'll depending on how I feel from panel to panel to panel, I'll use different lines. I'll use different pens. I'll use different things to be like these basket weavings, these hatch marks up here.
I love that.
I'll just use different size pens.
Panel. Yeah, that's great. Top right.
Just whatever I want to do. Yeah. And each panel is different. Like I don't do one pen. Like I have kind of a general idea. Like for microns, I'll use like an 8 for the regular size pens or panels, excuse me. And then the medium sized panels, I'll use a 5. And then the small panels, I'll use a 3. So I have a system like that. But the amount of black that ends up on the page is just a feel. It's just like you just go and you just draw. And I have different brush pens that do different jobs, and I have like big felt markers to black stuff in. Just whatever happens, however I feel about it. And you just keep going until it seems right. And if you go too far, you just erase it in Photoshop.
So how long are you going to run your campaign? Just wondering, is it going to be like the normal month? Are you going to go? Months or...
it'll be 1 month. It'll be March 1st to March 31st. Yeah. And then like I was pretty Johnny on the spot about fulfilling it last time. I think I was only late by a couple of weeks, and just finish it up and then just start drawing people's rewards and start mailing and stuff like that right away. I think if everything goes to plan, the campaign wraps up March 31st, and I should have the books printed in May. So I was able to get them up at Free Comic Day last year. So
cool.
Good. Yeah.
Patrick, Travis, I have seen it on Kickstarter, but there's like 10 issues for it, and like I can't back it. It's just too expensive for me. So I'd want to get all of it, and so like if they do a trade for Cancel House, I would totally get it. But the 10 issues is just too.
Is that on Kickstarter right now?
I believe so. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't heard about that one. I'll look into that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow. I can't wait to back. I actually didn't read the new issue because I'm excited for the.
Oh, nice!
Waiting to get the physical to read it. To tell you the truth.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I used to do them just for the website, I kind of made them for the website, but when I started printing them for comics, I structured them so they'll be printed better, and I think they read better as a comic. Yeah.
Well, you get the turn page, right?
Yeah.
Well, I love your single page ones too. You know what I mean? Sometimes it'll be like one big splash, and then sometimes, we
lose Johnny?
I can still hear him.
Oh,
I can't hear anything now.
You can't hear us at all?
We can hear you, Joe.
Oops.
Yeah. Ruh-roh.
Oh, there, I got sound back. Sorry.
Nice.
I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it just went silent. Well, I unhooked my phone for the camera, so I must have caught it later. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Works for me, guys. Yeah. But so the Kickstarter launches tomorrow, and it's super fun, and it's absolutely terrifying at the same time. It's awesome, but like, oh my god, right? Like, it's just a month-long nerve-wracking experience because you're just praying it works. I mean, because like when I did the first one, I thought maybe I was going to be like, I set the funding goal low as like $1,000, and I thought I was going to spend a whole month begging people to get close to that, and it funded in like less than 48 hours, and then I got up to like over $3,000, so 300% funding. Paid for all the printing of everything. It worked out perfectly for me. Took all the financial burden off of it, and like I'm hoping to at least meet that again this time. Like it's like I'd like to see growth. Like I said, I hope, but like $3,000 on a Kickstarter is not easy, right? Like you see a lot of guys that struggle for that. I'm like, it's tough, right? So I mean, I might tomorrow, one person might back the damn thing. You know what I mean? Like I have no idea. Like I'm not taking it as granted that I'm going to get this massive turnout. Like I'm going to have to try all month really hard to get it to work.
Well, this thumbnail is pretty effective. I think that'll grab a lot of people's attention.
Yeah, I hope so.
Cyborg ring race with Fist of the North Star shoulder pads. It's dope.
There you go. Yeah. Love shoulder pads.
All month, Joe and I will be doing promos for it at the beginning.
Oh, please. Please, thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. Honestly, like I love it. I just love the promotion you guys have done so far. Like, thank you so much. It's tough out there, man. Like, I'm sure you guys get a lot of indie comic guys out here. Like, yeah, like if you're not already, like I always tell people, like the easiest way to get ahead is to already be ahead. So
you've already learned the smart lesson. You ask for a small opening fee for the campaign. You know what I mean? The problem a lot of people have with their Kickstarters is they ask for $10,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're expecting to make that in a month when nobody knows who the hell they are.
Yeah, it's tough because like like I said, I manage a comic book store. I've been there for 20 years. A lot of my sales come from the store. Like I will take this book into that store after the Kickstarter and I'll sell a lot of it there because you gotta print a lot to make the numbers work. So if somebody wants to print 100 comics, you're gonna have to sell those comics for $20 a piece, right? Like I sell my comics for basically $5 a piece because I print so many, but I got a garage full of them. And so all this artwork that I do with my Kickstarters, that's what funds the print run. Like me doing all that individual art for everybody, that's what basically funds it. So I can it takes the financial burden off of it, right? So, like that's one of the reasons why I did the Kickstarter the last time, because like I hadn't paid off I hadn't paid off the second book yet, And so like, okay, like if I do it this way, I can pay it up ahead of time, because the next thing you got to do is you got to go to conventions, you got to go and promote your book, pay for advertising digitally. Like that all costs a lot of money. And so, like I said, I'm not making a living off this book. It's all very much a labor of love. And, that Kickstarter is just essential to the whole process. But like you said, so some of those guys that show up and they go like, hey, I want $10,000 right off the hop. It's like, good luck. I really hope you make it. I really do. But it's tough. It's really tough.
So speaking of conventions and stuff, I've seen you did one, maybe a month ago, roughly? You had a show just a little while ago, not maybe before Christmas, maybe it was just before the holidays.
Yeah. I was at I did two. I'm trying to remember now. I got all blurs together because I did one here because I'm in Kamloops, BC. Yeah. So I did one at a craft market.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, and then I think after that is I went to Penticton for their comic convention called Pentacon, and I did that one. I think that was the last one I did. Okay. And that was a lot of fun. That was like more like a we call them like fan expos here, where it's a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. And then the next one I have is about an hour and a half from here is a town called Vernon, and they have Vernon Comic Con. I'm going to go there. I'm applying for some more here in BC, like mostly all in BC, right? Because it's within 4 or 5 hours of driving. Yeah. And then I'm applying for a couple in Vancouver. I'm terrified to try to get into Vancouver because there's so many people there, and there's so much demand there that I think I'm really worried I'm going to get.
When is that one?
Shut out of there. Sorry.
When is that one? The Vancouver one? It's in May or?
The big one's VanCaf, and that's in the summer.
That's in the summer, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got accepted to that one. I've applied to that one, but I haven't got accepted. And then there's another one in Vancouver. Still waiting to hear back. But the one in Vernon Comic Con is on Free Comic Book Day, so it's May 1st. Cool. Yeah, so that'll be good.
Will you have your new book by then?
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm really hoping I'll have it by then.
That's like almost perfect, right? Because one comic's not enough to go do conventions, really. Yeah. Like it's hard, especially if you do a big one, like you said, because of the price of the table and everything. And I think 3 is a sweet spot because it's not too many, so it's not intimidating for someone to be like, "Oh, I got to try to catch up." Like 3 comics is easy to sell. Like take all 3 people will buy all 3 because it's not like financially, it's not a huge demand on them financially, and you get like 3 stories, right? So you really get to get a good feel for the book and everything if you can pick up 3 stories. So I think that's a nice little sweet spot, like especially when you get that, especially when people see that 3rd one, they'll flip through that and they'll be like, oh, I gotta get all 3 now,
Well, he'll have 4, like if you could get the of shrub done too. So like, yeah.
Because that's
Oh,
what happens
that's
at
true.
those
That'll be
cons.
4 with the shrub. That's true. Yes.
Yeah, because like when you go and you meet people and they just immediately get like captivated by what you're selling. If all I'm selling is a couple of $5 books, like that, there's only so much they can give me. Like they want to give you more, but they so having 2 books is like, hey, here's $10. Like thanks. But yeah, like having T-shirts and buttons and 4 comics, like like if they want to support you, like there's a lot more ways that they can support you now.
Yeah.
So it's it's good.
So you're
gonna have, sorry, go ahead.
Your T-shirts, you're having those made yourself, or are you going through a like an on-demand type?
Well, on my website, the T-shirts that I have available are print on demand from Redbubble.
Okay.
And I never sell those goddamn things.
Okay.
Redbubble's dead. Well, for me at least. But for the Kickstarter, they will be printed here locally in Kamloops by a local printer. And then I'm going to have an inventory of T-shirts I can bring out. Because people have asked me for a long time, like, hey, like, I don't want to buy one online and pay $20 shipping just for one T-shirt. So, but the idea, like, T-shirts are expensive. So, having an inventory of 100 T-shirts in your garage takes up a lot of room and a lot of money, And with same T-shirts, the same thing. Like, it's, if you buy one, you're going to pay $50 a shirt, But if you buy 100, now you can sell them and make money on them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
Are you going to have the logo only, or are you going to print the covers? Like, what are the T-shirts going to be?
It'll just be my Life logo. Like that's like as you can see, I like the black and white punk rock shirts.
Yeah.
And so that's what it'll be. It'll just be like, it'll say Life the Necropolis, and I that's the one I sell on my website. I used to do every month I would put a new T-shirt out when I first started, and they just weren't selling, so I just stopped doing them. I just left the logo T-shirt up there.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the logo T-shirt, and like I said, I like the logos, so.
Yeah,
I mean, that'll look pretty sweet on a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have one that I wear around all the time because I got one printed for myself. But yeah, like going forward, I'll have them available. So yeah, so all of a sudden my booth, instead of just 2 comics and some art prints and things like that, now I've got 4 comics. I got buttons. I got like all those art prints, all the shirts. So yeah, people that want to come out and support you, like you give them options, right? And suddenly this is a little bit more viable.
Got to get some stickers. People love the stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, the stickers are in my Kickstarter, so like
you're gonna have
everyone.
Cool, yeah.
But I got to get around to making some actual stickers. Like and have like an inventory for my booth too, because like, everyone tells me stickers, man. Like everybody loves stickers.
Big seller, man. People go nuts for them. Yeah.
So people can get the book through the Kickstarter, which launches tomorrow. People can also you have your website where you sell your books from as well. Yep. So that's at
lifethen.com.
Yep. Life the N or then. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I originally was lifethenecropolis.com, but no one's gonna remember that. So it's lifethen.com.
Yeah. .com. So you can go check out like the stuff, because I mean, if they can't hit you up at a con, they could always go to your site, or tomorrow you could go check out what you have to offer on the Kickstarter as well. So.
Yeah, it'll all be up there. You can grab everything you need. Like the shipping's pretty reasonable, like, just to get it out, so you grab a couple things. If you just grab a couple books, shipping's super cheap. But if you grab a whole bunch of things, please do.
It makes makes the shipping sting a little less.
Yeah, exactly. Spread it out.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. I'm like, I want to get your book, but I'm waiting until you have multiple issues, because I don't want to pay $20 of shipping for a $5 book. It really stings. So like we have a buddy, friend of the show, Wesley Griffith. Now he's done his Jump. The Jump is done. He's doing issue 7's coming out soon, and that'll wrap up the whole story. So now I'll probably order all 7 issues, because you get your flat rate, right? The initial cost of shipping, then it's like what, a buck or two more per, depending on the weight and everything. So to shoot off one floppy, like it's like, you can do that with like a stamp. You can do it with an oversized stamp in Canada. It's a little bit more to the States. But yeah, once you cross over, like it's like 500 grams, I think, the shipping rockets. So if you got 5 books there, like then it's easy, it's doable, right? Well, and the Gemini mailers, like people don't want their books damaged, but those Gemini mailers, now it's no longer traditional. Yeah, it costs extra because it's like it doesn't fit, because they have like the mail holes, so that's a price if it's bigger, and it just Yeah, it just.
Where's my shit? Where did I put it? Oh, here we go. This is my Kickstarter template.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I cut this out.
If it fits through there,
yep,
you save on shipping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I got a scale somewhere here too, where I measure it all out, weigh it all out. Yeah.
See, that's it.
I've been shipping comics for a long time, right? And I've lost a lot of money on shipping, so I don't make those mistakes anymore.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, there was you can send those to the States too. You can send oversized mail to the States, but they don't like if you put anything other than paper in there. So sometimes they get kicked back. But if you do it right, I'll give you a tip here. If you do it right and you put tape all over your address, if they kick it back to you and they put stickers on top of it, you can just rip those stickers off and send it again. It'll probably go through that time.
Yeah, we have a buddy that does that when he does commissions. James Edward Clark. He does it through the mailers, and I thought that's what happened to Johnny because I had him do like a little commission. And he makes sure they're the size, like you said, so you can just sell it by letter mail, right? And I thought it took. How long did it take, Johnny, for it to get to you? 3 months almost.
Oh, you got it. You got it done. What you said the week I went into the hospital,
or
and
just before the end of November, basically.
Yeah, and then I got it. I don't know, almost all the way through January. January was almost over by the time it came.
A solid 2 months anyway. We thought it was lost. Like James was going to draw another one. And then all of a sudden, like I reached out to James. I said, well, I'll give it another couple weeks. And he's like, yeah, give it another couple weeks. And if he doesn't get it, I'll draw another one.
It was literally the day after we bitched about it on a show.
That's funny. Yeah. Mailman.
Someone at the post office was watching. They're like, fuck.
It's like, oh, better go deliver that today, I guess, then finally. Jeez, that's funny.
Yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm going to get a shrub and the new issue, man. Hell yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So just remind people tomorrow, the Kickstarter goes live. What time is it going live tomorrow?
I haven't decided yet, but probably like 10 or 11 Pacific time. So maybe around noon, your guys' time kind of thing, right?
All right.
Just, like, hit the ground running as best I can, kind of thing, right? So start building momentum fast there. So Life The Necropolis, 6 doomed wrecked nights on Kickstarter, March 1st to March 31st. Please.
But it's crazy when you think about it. You've been working at this.
2015, right? Is when you started. I think that was the earliest date on the student's book drawings that you had.
It's like 10 years because I did the original drawing I think in 2011 or 2013 or something like that, and then I took off a couple of years and then put that first drawing out like around that 2015. Yeah, it was around my 30th birthday. Yeah. How
much original art do you have? Do you sell any of it or?
No, I have it all. Yep.
You have it all still?
Yeah. I don't want to part with it. B, I can't part with it. And C, I'll grab pages and be like, how did I do that? Like, how do I used to draw rocks? Because I'll forget how I figured something out. So maybe one day I'll part with them. But the stack's like this now, so yeah, it's a huge stack.
265 pages, I believe, on Webtoon in total. Yeah,
sounds about right. Yeah, I do 2 pages a month, so I wish I could do more. Like that's the goal, right? Is trying to get someone's attention from one of those big companies that I like and say like, hey, you want to do this for a living? Like please, I'd love to make money doing this. Yeah.
Well, now you're actually putting stuff out. It's not just on the web. Like you're printing it, you're singing it out. You're hitting the socials a little harder too. Yeah. I remember in the beginning, once you got that first printed one out, then you're like, you're on there pretty consistently, just promoting your stuff. And
without going on a rant, you have to post every day. You have to post every day, and it's almost to a point where like the more you post, the sicker people get at you because you're just trying to blow through that algorithm. You know what I mean? And I'm active I try to be on social media every day, posting something. Just trying to get the word out there and try to break through.
Yeah, get that sweet spot, right? Like not too much, but you're there so people don't forget as well, right? So
and like I when you pay them to advertise your stuff, you have no idea how well it's working, right? So
I noticed your shop has been that's your shop, right? That's been putting out the word for the Kickstarter. Yeah,
because I posted it through my accounts for a couple of weeks, and I posted it through the store's accounts for a couple of weeks, and I changed the audience, just to kind of see, hey, just try to reach more people.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you have no idea how well this stuff is working or isn't working.
Yeah.
it's all a big
it's hard to tell.
snafu. Yeah. It's all just Zuckerberg and Elon clutching their pearls. Ripping us off.
Awesome, man. So we've been at it for an hour and a half. So Johnny, any last words, any last questions before we sign off?
No, man, just good luck on the campaign, man. I hope you fund in under 24 hours. I'm pretty sure you will. I have a good feeling about it. So
thank you so much for doing this, guys, too. Like, you guys know, I'm sure you talk to people, I'm sure you guys too. It's like it's tough getting out there, it's tough getting the word out, and this is just like, just even saw what you guys were promoting today earlier. I was like, I gotta go check all that stuff out. Like I want to get in contact with all this stuff. Like, it's awesome. There's so much good stuff being put out there. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for telling people about the other stuff. Like it's tough out there, and just seeing actual, like, real human beings talking to each other about this kind of stuff and just giving recommendations. So it's awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome. It's our pleasure, man. We love talking to creators, and like I said, I kind of got wind of you a long time ago through Menu, who's been on the show a few times too. So it's finally nice to be able to talk to you and talk about the book, get to meet you. So that's awesome.
Me too.
What's he up? Is he doing book 5 now, or is he kind of?
Yeah, it's been a slower process this time around. He's a little. I don't know if he just couldn't put more time into it because of the day job or what's going on, but it's.
You got to find time for it. Like I said, I mentioned, like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, you get your job, you get your family, you get everything, and then you got to spend time, hours every night. Just so I'm not surprised, but like he does amazing work. And I really like his digital stuff, and his traditional stuff is fantastic.
That's what I tell him. I tell him it's like night and day, and he's like,
I don't want to be rude, but
he's like, it takes too long. I was like, but your traditional stuff just fucking blows your just out of the water. It's fantastic. Yeah, I've told him that. He's like, I know, but just time. It just takes too much time.
I get it.
It's like, yeah.
Like I said, it's what makes it work for you. Like, people say, well, why do you do this? It's like, because my brain doesn't work that way, and it just doesn't work for everybody the same way. And I get it, but God, he's good, eh? He's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah. All right. So our next show will be Monday. We'll be doing a Power Pulp Power Hour. We'll be having Matt King on to talk about Tales to Enlighten, and that'll be the giveaway. We'll be giving away book 1 and 2 for that giveaway, and it'll be kind of a parody, bootleg, homage episode. So we'll briefly go through the Power Pulp lineup of books that kind of are bootlegs or parodies or homage to other comics. So we'll talk about that a little bit, but we'll put a spotlight on Tales to Enlighten, and Matt King will be joining us. And we'll be giving away those fat boys.
We might do movie homages too, because I love talking about the book that the Coates brothers did. So
we'll be giving away this bad boy,
this New York phone book.
Yeah, we'll be giving away this phone book here. Yeah,
wow.
Tales to Enlighten. James Edward Clark art in this one. This is the first book. So it's about 150 pages of story and 150 pages of pinups from indie creators in the back. So, yeah. Well, maybe there's a little more than 150 pages of story. Maybe it's 200 pages of story and 100 pages of pinups. So, yeah, that'll be the giveaway. Books 1 and 2. So, yeah, tune in on Monday, March 2nd, March 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is March 1st because
it's your Kickstarter launches. Exactly. Yeah, man. All right, Johnny. I think it's that time. It's outro time.